Stevenson for his Tsuang speech. ADHD.
Yes, thank you very much.
Well, my name is Stevenson. Now I'm a research assistant in civil engineering department. Well, before I starting my speech, I want to ask you, how many times do you doze out, which means you fall asleep inside a class during a week? How many times? The range. Raise your hand and point out the time to me.
3.
About 3, 5 times. How many times? 3. 0. Okay, that's proud. 0 times. So, well, as for me, when I was in high school, I almost dozed out in class about 5 times a week. So, my solution to deal with that is I am using I'm using the uniform belt to tie me on the chair so that I won't fall down asleep. Well, the only side effect, you will be teased by your classmates that say, "Well, you SM yourself during a class. That sounds so mental." So, as for that, I quit using that method during my college. And the problem getting worse and worse, which means when I was a freshman, I dozed out in class 2 times a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. And most unfortunately, I dozed out the most important part of the class. Maybe they teach, well, this is the most important part of the calculus. You may remember, and then you fall asleep. So that sounds a very serious problem during the semester. But after I received my grade, I have no choice but to face the music. So I visit the NTU Mental Care Center, which is located inside our campus, for some help. After a half hour of consulting, the consultant gave me some very useful advice to deal with such a situation. She said, well, according to your syndrome, I say, well, maybe the best solution for you is to study more harder. Okay, well, I very appreciate your help. Thank you very much. This helped me very much. See you. I will visit here later. And then I leave that building and never come back again. Okay, you didn't get the point. So after that, I went to the doctor for some more professional advices. And the doctor says, maybe after listening to your description, I say, maybe you'll have a syndrome called ADHD, which stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. And I asked the doctor, say, hey, isn't that the word that describes some misbehaved children that jumping up and down the table during a class, that which the 过动儿? And however, the doctor say, well, you're mentioning a word for H, that is stand for hyperactivity. Well, there's also 2 words at the front, which called AD, which stand for attention deficit. This 2 words refers to some adults that cannot concentrate while doing work. So they may have some poor productivity while they're doing some very serious job. So the doctor says, well, now I prescribe you some medicine and you go home and try it. So after I go home. From next week on, I tried that medicine, and that medicine works just like a miracle. From that on, I can stay awake during the whole day, from about 8 lessons a day or something. But it's another serious problem. Although I can get more concentrated time, but I find myself wasting this time on some things like floating around on Facebook or browsing the PTT a lot. And I cannot help but it. I just addict to it, and I cannot help but keep doing it. So I visit the doctor again for some more medicine. The doctor says, well, you can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot force it to drink. Similarly, this medicine can keep you awake and concentrated, but it cannot it cannot solve all your problems. So maybe it's time for you to adapt some new lifestyle so that you can turn a new leaf. Here I advise you to try some method called the Pomodoro method. The word Pomodoro is the word, the word Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato. And it also can refer to the tomato-shaped clock inside your kitchen to count your time while you're cooking. Well, says that this method that says that you should work for 25 minutes. You separate your work into 25-minute sections, and you finish each work by a day. Maybe in a day you can finish 6 to 8 Pomodoro clock, and then you can done your work. After I tried the method, well, I can separate my work into a proper section, and then I can finish it on time, which gave me a lot of sense of achievement. Well, all I want to talk about, I want to share with you is that maybe sometime you may apply some time management method. Maybe you apply some new method that you cannot concentrate. But maybe sometime it's because of the disease, so you have to visit a doctor for some medical help. Thank you very much, TME.